Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another episode. This time, Stephen's come up with another cracker that we're going to talk about, and it's about being afraid of spending time on your own. And we're talking about me time here, so we're not talking about being single, we're talking about me time, and the feelings that come with that. So you talked off air about it, but I don't want to sort of spoil all that. So just tell me your thinking and why you brought this topic up today.
Yeah, I guess it's really over the last few months, again, talking to a lot of clients, and one thing that just keeps coming up again and again and again is their inability to spend time on their own, and that, you know, how that makes them feel, that they've almost got to fill this airtime with being around lots of people, whether that's, you know, going to connection meetings, whether that's, you know, doing things with the family, the extended family as well. It's like, when do you get that time for yourself? And actually, is that okay? Is that okay? And to not be afraid of that. Like, it's okay to hear your own heartbeat. It's okay to hear yourself breathing. It's okay to take yourself away from the day-to-day and do something on your own. You don't actually always need to be with someone else or with other people. You can have that time on your own. And it really made me think about why is that? And I guess we get so used to being around other people. I mean, God damn it, you know, when we're younger, you know, someone's saying, have you got a girlfriend, or have you got a boyfriend? Have you got this? You know, the whole world is around saying you need to be with someone else all the time. And actually, we don't. And it's almost like not apologizing for that and making that time for yourself and not feeling guilty about that time that you make for yourself. Does that make sense, Oliver?
Oh, absolutely. It does, from a point of view of other people, because I talk about this quite a lot. So for me, I'm my biggest fan. I love me, and I love spending time with me, and I do give myself quite a bit of me time. And it's the time when ideas come to mind, when I think the most and so forth. And I'm a bit odd, and people may have picked up on that. I'm not like your normal type of person, and I do accept that that's quite an unusual thing, to feel comfortable with that. And therefore, other people feel guilt, don't they? I think this is where you're getting to, that people feel guilty, that it's wrong to have time to yourself, especially if, I don't know, you run a business, or you have a team that works for you, or you've got a family that are large around you, that, you know, maybe they or your friends don't get time to do all these things. Whatever your reasons are, they're kind of like default excuses again to not give yourself that time. But actually, the benefits of it, being able to get yourself out of a bad mood sometimes, being able to think about going in a different direction with things that are or are not working, that if they're not working well, fixing it, or if they are working well, how can you enhance it, is so much easier when it's on your own. Now, it's not a case of suddenly become a recluse, because there are times when you need other people as well. And possibly I might argue that I may have gone too far the other way at times in the past. But absolutely, there's nothing wrong with it. And I believe it's personally very healthy, because of some of the best ideas and thinking and changes I've made have come from when I've been able to sit down and just listen to myself. And when I'm on my own, and when we're talking about me time, we are not talking about scrolling through your phone, looking at your favourite videos and things like that. Even if you decide to move out of the room that everybody else is in, that is, you're not on your own then. You kind of got like these fake friends in effect, either the people you're connected with on there, or the people that you're listening to or watching and so forth. So this is, for me, I don't know if you agree with me, but this is about literal me time, where you are just detached from everything, with exceptions maybe of listening to a good audiobook or something like that maybe. But in an ideal world, actually, I just want silence for you, where you just deal with what comes in and let it happen, and not, you know, let yourself be bored or whatever it might be. So, no, I'm absolutely, and probably because of the line of work we're in, why we feel more comfortable with this, because we know how powerful it is. But I'm 100% behind the fact that you are, not only is it okay, but you need it. You seriously need that me time. As a final thing on that, I wonder how many people can relate to the time when, because of an accident of timings, you get some moments on your own, either it be in the office or it be at home. Everybody's gone out and you're happy. Just remind yourself what that felt like. You know, it happens to me and my household quite a lot. But in the evenings, it doesn't so much. And the rare time when it does, and I get to do something different at that time of the day, it's amazing, because it's just, there's a different me going in the evening as to what there is in the morning. And it's just a fantastic feeling. So just anyone listening, just ask yourself, when was the last time you had that moment where, through no fault of your own, so you weren't being selfish, it wasn't a guilty thing, but there just was time and no one was there? How good did that feel? In actual fact, and did you feel bad about how good it felt, the fact you didn't miss people and things? I'd be fascinated, because actually it's okay.
And it's great that you use that word, it's okay. And it is, it's okay to have that time for yourself. And one of the things that's really evident when you do have that time, you stop, generally, you relax, you reflect, okay? And you sometimes take yourself out of the rat race when you do that. And all of those things are really, really healthy, because by, not doing enough of that means that, you probably put yourself in an anxiety position. You're moving too fast, too quick. You're not taking stock, and so forth and so forth. So this me time, I think, is really crucial to recharge your batteries, if that's what you need to do, to have that thinking time, to really think about a situation or a subject matter, to just down tools and stop, and change the pace, and I do think that it's so many people this will resonate with, because I think so many people feel guilty when they take themselves out of that day to day and just say, right, this is me time. And I would even go further, Oliver, and say that I think, even things like our mental state and, our well-being needs us to have time on our own. Just like our well-being sometimes needs us to just pause and do nothing. And, this hits a lot of people where they just constantly filling the space with another thing, because they believe that's the right thing to do. And actually, doing nothing is okay.
Yeah. And
doing nothing on your own is okay. Listening to your heartbeat is okay. I asked this question: how many people have last time they listened to their breathing? Because it goes into this realm where a lot of times we don't even take breath, because we're actually talking or doing something the whole time. So, making that time for yourself really, I think, is a real positive. It starts to cross over into, the well-being spectrum. But to do that, you've got to take yourself away from it and not be afraid to be on your own. It's okay to be on your own, because what this sort of edges on is, if you're always around people all the time and you're always, you've got someone always around you, are you really thinking about yourself?
Yeah, and there's obviously so many different character traits of people, but there are a large number of people who put other people first, and that is their default position. I've coached a lot of people whose priority is other people's welfare over themselves, and that's admirable. Absolutely, it is. And I wouldn't want those people to stop. They do some great things in the world for either their friends, for their families, for charities, whatever it might be. But there is still a but. If they don't give themselves enough time, then that might impact on them quite strongly, and they may not be as good at all the things they want to do. They may not see things in the way they need to, and their performance, for want of a better word, will drop, whether it be through health, through mental state, bit of both. It's going to happen if they don't give themselves enough time. It may not happen straight away. It may be something that they don't realise until later in life, but it's absolutely essential. And it's about that quiet time. Like, one of the things that always gets me is a lot of my business is done through social media, so therefore I'm on it a lot. And I do catch myself on a moment where I am supposed to be on my own. I've done my thing, and maybe I'm on TikTok, for example. Bloody brilliant platform that it is. It drives me nuts. But it absolutely knows me inside out. And I've done my work, so all I need to do is put that down and move on to the next thing. But then it's like, video about golf, more videos about golf, dog videos. This stuff, and it's just like they know me. They're in here. Of all the platforms, it just blows my mind. So really important to stress, quiet time is not on the mobile phone. And how many times when you are bored do you reach to pick up the phone? I want our people to just really dwell on that. And I can say, because it's become a habit for me because of how much time I spend on it for my business. But if I was really honest, how much percentage-wise of that is business time and so-called me time, but that me time is not quality me time. I could have really made use of that. Say it's only half an hour. Imagine the stuff I could have done in half an hour if I had it to myself. Go off and do some yoga, do some breathing exercises, some meditation, whatever works for you. I'll go for a walk, anything. Anything but strolling through lots of videos which are basically similar to what you've watched before, but pass the time. We do not do bored very well, if at all, anymore. And I feel like of the biggest changes over maybe the last 50 years, boredom and our inability to be bored and quiet is the worst, because we have everything we possibly need to just keep ourselves going. And that means that you're never really switching off, even if it's not hard level thinking. If you're not, how many times you probably scroll through social media and forgotten where the last 10 minutes go, and you probably don't even remember half of what you watched, but you're still not relaxing, you're still not resting. So no, absolutely, 100% believe in you having your own time. I just would have a caveat of quality me time is so important. It doesn't mean don't go on social media, don't watch videos. I mean, in an ideal world, I'd really wish you wouldn't, but we're not saying that. But it's like, maybe do that as a reward for doing sitting there quietly for 10 minutes, meditating or breathing, listen to your heartbeat, whatever it might be. That's your reward. But do the hard yards first, which sitting there doing nothing shouldn't be hard. But it does seem to be incredibly hard for almost everybody, I think.
And you touch on such a valid point there, Oliver, about social media. And I guess if you cut that time down, you would actually have more me time. When was the last time you listened to that favourite album of yours when you wasn't in the car? Because guess what? When you're in the car, you're still doing something. So it's real quality time where you can really just relax and you can really just switch off. So, listen to that amazing album. And actually, a lot of people have been saying to me, actually, that I've seen it quite a lot, where people are taking a week off social media or a day off. Or I've noticed a lot of people have phone bins as they enter their house. So they enter the house and the phone goes in a bit of a bin and the whole family do it. So then it forces the family to sort of communicate and talk to each other again. And I guess there'll be people saying, I haven't got time to have that time on my own. We do have the time. It's just about doing things differently, as we've talked about in other podcasts. But it's about doing things differently. And it's about not being afraid of being on your own without the gadget attachments. Because that's what it comes down to. And that whole boredom is because, you've just got in the habit of picking it up or logging on or whatever that you're doing. So making that sort of step to saying it's okay to be on my own and have that time on my own and have that thinking time, I really do think can be refreshing. And in a lot of cases, I think it actually helps us just clear as well. Because the other thing that happens is our minds just get filled with so much to the point where when do we release that? When do we let some of that stuff go? When do we I often talk about the tiny little drill I have with my clients. And I say I have a tiny little drill in my hand, and all I'm going to do is drill tiny little holes in the skull of your head, which allows you to let things out and let new things in. And this is a little bit like that. Spending time on your own sometimes could be just enabling you to just let go and reconnect and start again with yourself. I often talk about the life jacket, and it's just reminded me of that, which is, in order for you to be the best person you can be for everybody else, you need to make sure you put your own life jacket on first. And having time for yourself is another way of putting your life jacket on for you. Mm-hmm. So that you're putting your life jacket on, you're set, you're now in a position that you can help lots of other people. And having this time for yourself puts you in a much better state that you are the best version you can be for other people. Try it. Try it. It really makes a difference having that time on your own, by yourself, to reflect, to think, to listen to some music, to do nothing. It really helps.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I mean, I'd be encouraging people to find as much time as they can. But as a little test for people who don't do it, if you can get 5, ideally 10 minutes, and put your phone in another room, so pick a time of day where you don't expect to get any calls from anybody like that, so you're not going to be stressed that the phone's in the other room and so forth. Put it down, but don't lie on a bed or anything and like risk nodding off, going to sleep or anything. Just sit with no distractions and just let that be. Just let it be and just see what comes of it. Because initially you'll be probably jiffling around, getting a bit fed up, sort of tutting, but then some thoughts will come in, some really weird thoughts will start coming in, then they'll go, and then some other ones will come in, and then they'll go, and you'll just pay attention to lots of different thoughts going in your head. And in 10 minutes time, 5-10 minutes time, your frame of mind and what's going on in your head will be entirely different. Because we have hundreds, if not thousands, of thoughts going through. If you just imagine them going across as clouds across your head. And there's loads of negative thoughts, but there's quite a lot of positive thoughts. And at certain times, we just latch on to those thoughts, whichever ones they are. So we can also let go of those and look for new ones, which might take us in a completely different direction. And honestly, 5-10 minutes would be enough. If you're going to do it properly, you need to do more. But as a test, give yourself 5-10 minutes of no phones, nobody else in the room, sitting down and just, or standing up, and just letting it be. No agenda, no topic, nothing to think about. Just let the first thing that comes into your head come in and then let it go. Let it come in, let it go, let it come in, let it go. You'll be amazed at the difference in just 5-10 minutes. I bloody love it. A lot of my clients do as well. But just, like I say, 5-10 minutes. So yeah, that's a challenge set down to the listeners from me. I feel that's enough challenges for me. So Stephen, do you want to say any other bits and pieces, wrap us up nicely on this one? Because it's been another good topic.
Yeah, absolutely. Just want to end by saying, we are what we think we are. So if we give ourselves that space and time, we can think about things differently, and it can have an impact on who we then are. But you've got to take yourself away. You've got to clear your mind to be able to do that. And again, I think it's such a powerful one, Oliver. It really is. And so my advice to people would be, start small, 5-10 minutes, and then go from there. And you'll be surprised the impact that it can have on you.
Yeah, so there you are. We've heard it from both of us now, so give that a crack. And as we've talked about before, we're not doing this to get hundreds and thousands of followers, but we do want to hear from you, because we love to know that what we're doing is helpful and things that we could do more of, less of. So you don't have to put it in the comments, you don't have to share it, you don't have to like it, that's not what we're asking for. But me and Stephen are very approachable. You can reach out to us via our websites, via our own private, with our own personal social media, and direct message us, whatever it is. So we're not asking you to contribute to our social media spread, but we genuinely want to hear. We'd be really, really interested, and this is one in particular I think it will be fascinating, especially it's certainly turned up a lot in Stephen's world from what he was saying. So we'd love to hear what you think. So whenever you get the chance, reach out to us. We do respond. We are real human beings, and we love hearing the feedback that we've been getting already. So more of that would be fantastic. So I think I'll end it there. Unless, Steve, you got anything else you want to add about the feedback?
No, let's end it there.
Thanks for listening, everybody.